Okay, we are live on YouTube and welcome to everybody there. Pedro, obrigado. Thank you to you too. Thunder is here with me to keep me company on Discord. Evening, Thunder. And
Hello, Nico.
I thought you're shy. You're not going to speak now. Okay, cool. No worries. Right. So let's start with the big story. Sam Stairport gave me an XML file for the Zibo to go test. I've already spent about an hour on it and it's close but no cigar. Okay, that's where we are at now. So I'm going to show you. I've changed one of the figures. I've restarted my X-Plane. And I'm going to see if it works now according to the initial values that they had. And then obviously we'll sit here and talk about it, debate it a little bit. You guys jump in there if you feel free to do so. And then if I can fix and tweak this file, I can send it back to Martin. I'll put it, in Discord for him, and we'll get the Zibo wrapped up if possible. So you guys are probably, depending on the time, probably not going to see me fly this flight. You can see we've got Neil and Reggie. Uncle John has just departed. Kevin has just departed. So I think that's the way I read it while I was still listening to them. So yeah, we're at Vancouver and we're about to set up and play around with our little Sam here. So at this point in time, I just want to quickly go and set my realism again. Too short. Let's actually save it. So I can fix it again later. Alright, so I'm going to make that, just make it 2. Right, so it will load that in there for us. So one of the things that we managed to get through to Stairport was the fact that our zero fuel weight, our OEW, operating empty weight, is 43,110 and not what is taken from the ACF file. So when I spoke to Zibo, he said to me he increased it at some point in time. It's on him, he did it, he knows he changed it. But the whole Zibo mod, everything we've done, from me and Twixter back in the day, creating the Zibo install guide and the way we've been flying it, you can go check it in your own thing. We've been using 43,111. Now that includes a crew weight, 2 pilots and 4 cabin crew. The weight that we have is 1,631 kilograms. That's what we used in the beginning with Sam as well. Then something changed on the Sam side and things went horribly wrong, and I see they've been tweaking for a few days now. Every time I use Sam, there's a difference somewhere. So until this morning that I received my file, and I'll see what I can do to match everything up, like I said. Okay, so without wasting any more time, let's actually just get going. We've got something to play with. Right. One can go up. Right. Hello, Chris, by the way. I can't remember if I said hello to you. Sorry about that, but welcome. So I'm going to show you a couple of things, starting with the aircraft weights, and then what I need to do is get my edge on the screen, because that's very important for us. Hello, Steve. Other edge. No, it's only showing one. There you go. Found it. Okay, so I'm going to superimpose that quickly and I'm just going to zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. So if we move the weights and things over there, all right, and now I can already see there's a difference again. Okay, and then I'm going to show you this file as well. Well, we're at it. Where is this file? Now we're going to go there. Close edge. So what I found was in the file that they gave me, they used the base extra weight. This is for the crew. They use a value of 1601. Now, if that value is 1601, it means that this dry operating weight is 43,111, exactly as we have it. Okay. The problem is then I could not for the life of me balance back to some brief. I just couldn't. Okay. So my thinking is as follows, is that whatever that value is, right, it's going to influence the rounding because in forever, and I've tried to ask SimBrief nicely, and they fixed it for me like 3 days. It was working for 3 days, and then it reverted back to the old story. Their rounding and the Zibo rounding, it's totally different. It's not the same. It just doesn't compute the same. So I'm not sure um, exactly how SimBrief does it, but it creates a bit of a problem, and that's a story I've told you before. Don't need to go into that. So what we want literally is we want our payload to be 18. Now you can see there the payload is correct. We want the zero fuel weight, and this is rounded figures, by the way, here by the SimBrief ones, right? So here, the zero fuel weight is rounded to 61.2. Now, if you take 61,150 and you round it, we were taught in primary school, don't know about you guys overseas, but here in South Africa, they said once you hit 5, you round up. So up to 4, you round down, up from 5 and up, you round up. So that's the way I was taught. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, I don't know. Hello, spawning summon. But at the end of the day, if I look at that figure and I round it up, I actually get 61.2, right? In terms of the fuel, we scroll back up, we get the actual number, 7718. So I picked that up correctly. Our takeoff weight is estimated, and again, this is rounded down here, 68.6. And that is like 200 kilograms over, which will account for, I'm rounding again myself, but that will account for the taxi fuel, which is also perfectly fine. There's no problem with it. But in that value, we need to find the magic number. Yes, Steve, thanks. We need to find the magic number to put into this file in that position to make it actually work. Because there I see a problem. Okay, so and because that number is incorrect, and again, we've got to be careful about rounding, because now somebody uses one rounding, Zibo uses another rounding, and unless we get that thing to actually trip over, we're not going to get the same zero fuel weight value in the FMC. Right. So in SAM, there is, in fact, I'm going to do this. I'll show you. See, it's showing, let me pull it back. There it shows red. So I'm going to save it now. I'll see it goes, it's now been saved. I'm going to revert back to the default file that Stairport gave me. And thanks again, Martin, for that. Then what we're going to do is we're now going to close explain. But let me just kill iVia. There we go. We're going to close this thing. Then we're going to have to take the whiteboard and the calculator and do some mathematics here to actually find a value that works. Now, if there's somebody out there that's more clever than me and we don't have to go through all the calculations, please shout out early enough. But as far as I know, we're going to have to just simply use the calculator and pick a few numbers, restart, try it again, restart, try it again until we get one. We'll figure it out. Right, you guys must just be patient. If you guys feel the need to go make coffee and all these things in the time that we do all the restarting, feel free, guys. Chris, coming back to your comment there while we're waiting again, might as well just have a nice chat. I wasn't too bad with maths in school, and even after school studying electronics engineering. I mean, we did maths 1, 2, 3. I think of all the stuff I did in my life in terms of maths, calculating the growth of a cloud for, a cloud forming, or the mushroom cloud of a nuclear explosion was, the worst. You had to keep your wits about you doing Fourier analysis and stuff like that. But in my adult life, in my business, in my career, I've never used math, really. And I've lost a lot of it. I've lost a lot of the functionality of maths. And when I look at some of these calculations these guys do, oy, 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 I'll have to go study again. It's way over the top for me at this time for some of these things. Hello, 737. Right, I'm thinking out loud here while we are talking as well. This little value that I now cannot see, there it is. Right, that little value, there's another way of doing this. We might not have to do it here. We might get away with changing the value in the EFB again, and I'll show you the trick. That's part of the other story we didn't go in and branched off on a tangent a few minutes ago. But the rear galley was the trick we used, the values in the rear galley was the trick we used to actually balance the zero fill weight with this rounding problem that we have between SimBrief and the Zibo. So I'm thinking, maybe let's do that again, because that might actually be part of the situation. Yeah, think out the box a little bit. We're gonna try it. So we've reverted back. So now we're on the file that I got from Martin. Didn't change anything. And what we're going to do. No, man, no, it's in here. See, we're back to the default. Okay, so now let's go add the value. If you go look at my screenshots and if you go look at my previous videos about this, I used a value of 440. And that extra 30 kilograms might actually be the 30 kilograms we are missing, now that I'm thinking out loud. I am ready for electrical power up procedure. Yeah, that might be it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as that. Let's actually save it so we know it's in there. Then we're going to try again. So let's go. Control-Shift-S. I created a little shortcut for me to bring this thing up so I don't have to go through the plugin menu the whole time. All right, so there we go. Now we're back to basics. As you can see, it's now compensating minus 30 kilograms, all right? Because we added the 30 at the back. And remember what you do on the one side, you've got to do on the other side to keep the balance. So you add it to one side, now you've got to subtract a little bit, keep balance, make sure that the thing balances out. I beg your pardon. Okay, so let's read through. Let's go back to this one. Now, we have passengers is 154. Okay, we'll get to the breakdown now. Right, so in the payload, we've got 18.0, and if we look at our figures over there, we've got 18.039. Because it didn't go to the 5, it's going to be 18.0. That's just it, it's 18.0. So the rounding down is perfectly fine. Right, the zero fuel weight is supposed to be 61.2. All right, look at that. We went to a 5. So now we need to go to 61.2. That's what it's supposed to do. All right, fuel. We definitely picked up correct, 7718. And then we have a takeoff weight of 68.6. Right, it adds the extra plus minus 200 kilograms, and we know that's taxi fuel. So we're okay. So what we want to do now, we want to start the pre-flight. Sorry, it's a bit crowded here on the screen. I'll try and remember to click all the buttons and do everything that I need to do as things happen. Oh yeah, there's number 1 coming. There's 2 jetways. All right, so we did select the correct one. I thought it would be nice to have 2 jetways to make sure it picks the right one as well, just for fun. Okay, now, initially I'm not going to change anything, but you can already see if you compare the values. We have 154 for passengers, and if we get the calculator, we grab the calculator here. Where is this calculator? So if we grab this thing, remember the passenger weight that we've always used is 79 kilograms. So times that by 154. We're going to get 12,166, and there's definitely a difference there. Let me write that down. We've got 15,916 minus 166. Minus. Right, so there's a huge difference. 3830. Not sure why that is. That is something we can query. Why? Because I'd love to understand. If it's not important, it's not important. But sorry, you guys didn't see that. There's where the math came in. So I just took the two known values, subtracted them from each other, and that's the difference. So that's a bit wild. I don't know why that is. Okay, so let's move this thing off the screen here. All right, then baggage. Okay, come back. 154 times 25 kilograms is 3850. Voila, that's correct. That's perfect. All right, but now the other thing is, where's that thing? We look at the cargo. It's set to 2 tons. And yet over here, there's nothing. There's nothing. Hello, Tommy. Okay, so, like I said, initially I'm not going to do anything. I want to test this file that I got from Martin. Let's click the load button. Fast track it, why not? Right, so let's do it this way. See all the differences. Right, so we know that our payload is 18.0, but in the tablet it's now added, right? Now, in my mind, that should be 1,601 minus 30 if we subtract those values, is it not? Go grab the calculator again. If we take, see, because it's rounded, the 18 is rounded, it's going to be very difficult to get an exact number now, but let's just try it. Let's see. It's 19,816 minus 18,000. Oh, 1816. It's a 1816 difference. I could have spotted that with my eye if I just concentrated. Can you believe it? Okay, so that's not entirely correct, but there could be some excellent Zibo and Stairport magic happening behind the scenes. Let's go look inside. All right, you see now we've got a massive total over there that's even more than the first page. Let's see what influence we have in the FMC. I mean, technically what should happen now is the zero fill weight and takeoff weight should be known, and it should match what we have on paper. And if it doesn't, we need to find out why and then rectify that specifically. See, why, no, see. Hello, Rule. In SimBrief, they have now divided the value. Remember, it used to be 104 kilograms combined, but then they basically had one field in the database. Now they've got two fields. They've separated them. So now you've got 79 kilograms for the passengers, and you've got 25 separately for the bags. Now, that is something that I'm keeping in my mind because we have to think about that as well. So I'm quite aware of it, but we need to find out. Well, you know what? I'm not going to bother with this. We don't care. Right, so if we go zero fuel weight now, and now we go look at these figures, that's what we are expecting. We are expecting 61.2, but we're getting 63. We are... Thank you for the subscription. We're looking at 68.6 here, but there we've got 70.7. So there's a lot of difference here. Okay, so we've got minus 2. I'm pretty sure I didn't concentrate enough. I completely messed that one up. 63,123 minus 61,200. That's better. Right, so we've got a 1,800 kilogram difference. So up to here, everything is fine, but it's in this thing where things go haywire. Okay. So let's start again. Reset the flight. Let's bring it in. Let's do some more mathematics. Start the pre-flight jetway. Right, so now we know we have 154 passengers, and it's going to be times 79. So that value, 12,166. Goes in there. Right, we also know that we have 2 tons of cargo. 2 tons of cargo. And let's just bring that back there just to show you guys. If we do 154 times 25, that's 3850 for the baggage, and we've got 3850. That figure is perfect. That one we had to change, that one we had to change. And the fuel, we all know now, is exactly correct. That comes from SimBrief 7718. So let's load that. We'll count to 3 and we'll do a fast track. Alright, so now in the payload total, we don't have that 21,000 and something. Now we've got 19,617. And over here we've got now less. Okay, so just for interest's sake, go look at, you know what, this is difficult. The screen is only so big. Okay, I don't actually need you. I'm talking nonsense. I want that screen. We're going to take 19,617 minus 17,986. See, that is what we had. That is the value, if you remember what I said earlier. That's the value that we were working on for crew weights from the beginning. So by actually doing the manual calculation for SAM, we've kind of balanced it out. Okay, so in my mind, we're now moving in a good direction, right? So let's go have a look. So that gives us 61.1. Let's do it this way. You see, Robert? Yeah, perfect. All right, so we've got a zero fuel weight of 61.2, but there we've got 61.1, and that, my friends, exactly that's about rounding. Somewhere, someone is not rounding something. And that is why I was thinking of changing that value in the XML file in the beginning, but I don't see value in it. Let's do this. Let's go here. For 50. I'm just adding 10 kilograms, okay? No, still not tripping it. Let's make it 480. Still not tripping it. Still not tripping it. Why? I can't believe we have to go so far. I mean, surely that should have tripped already. Let's do it. Let's do something else. Make it 0. See if it trips it the other way. See, it's not updating. Oh, that's a bloody another problem now. Why is it not updating? Okay, so let's go back. Make it 450, the way I initially thought. And we hit the menu button and we reset the sucker. Still. So now I'm wondering if this is even taken into consideration. You see, now I don't have that information. I don't know whether this is actually taken into consideration. Because that should have tripped it now immediately. Let's just do one more test. Reset it. Hello, Sasha. Yeah. All right. So effectively, this has no influence anymore. It's all dependent on what we have with Sam. So the question now becomes, what happens if we change this value? You write it down quickly. 19617. We'll make that 19650. Okay. Not update. 19700. That's not updating at all. It's like it's set in stone. So 19617. Go back to this one. Let's change that one. I need to write this down. 1996. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, you know what? Yeah, obviously, the moment I click there, it goes there. But so there's an internal mathematics that happens somewhere along the line. I can't change that value. And that value determines what happens here, it seems. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is going to be something literally like either 10 or 20 or 30 kilograms. That's going to be the difference here. The question now is, where do we add it? That's where we have to think about it. Come on, you clever guys on the stream, tell me, where do we add this thing? Keep that. I'm going to change that. I'm just reading through this XML file quickly and see if I spot something somewhere. Kakaku, welcome. Only variable I can think of to manipulate is that hidden weight. Steve, obviously, technically and physically, yes, we can change it, but then it means I'm going to have to rewrite and retrain thousands of pilots, rewrite the Zibo install guide. Everything on our side is based on certain values, everything. Which means that there's somewhere some rounding that happens here on the Stairport side, between them and SimBrief at least. It might not be Stairport themselves, it could be the SimBrief. There's some rounding, some value that is messing us around. Now, the question is, first of all, how much? Because I mean, I can go and manipulate that value in the XML file again. We can restart and we can play around with it a little bit. And then we'll probably have to manipulate the value in the back. But because the way they load, I mean, the thing that freaks me out is this has no more bearing on the load. Because this is literally where I used to fix the rounding problem, is you just add or subtract 10 kilograms and then you get the exact zero fuel weight that you get from SimBrief. But if this is something we cannot change... Okay, let's do this. I'm just thinking out loud. So let's do this. Let's start over. Reset the flight. Grab it again. Alright, then we go to start the pre-flight. Then we go to jetway. Remember we said that was wrong and that was wrong. So that needs to be 2000. Needs to be 12 something. Where is that calculator? Oh, I closed it. Right, I had two calculators open. Now I've got the one going 15. With the passenger count 154 times 79. Let's do 166. Okay, do 166. Well, 166. Okay. So that is now literally matching SimBrief. Right, the way it's there. It's literally matching it. Okay. But when we do that, we don't get the actual rounding. So I'm wondering if that is not where we should put the extra 30 kilograms. Hello, Cole. Welcome. Let's add it here. Let's go to 96. Okay, so I've added 30 kilograms. Remember we added 30 kilograms here in the rear galley in the past. But this 30 kilograms has no bearing on anything anymore. Okay. Rule, where are you talking about? I don't see that. Obviously you're a bit behind me, so I need to think now where you're talking about. Alright, you said you took 440 to 550 and it did the update. So you're saying here at the back end here. Mine's not updating at all. Okay, so literally I'm just going to go back to, that should be 410. That's by default, 410. Okay. We're going to keep it at 410. Let's go back here because that obviously had no bearing on anything. It's still not changing there. Okay. So now I've added 30 kilograms in there because that's usually the tipping point for the old days. You know, speaking strictly Zibo to get the rounding working. So let's click on load. Click on fast track. Okay, so that load is correct. That's obviously now different. There we go. So that's the tipping point. That's the answer. Okay, let's recap. Rule, did you get the latest XML from the Stairport Discord? Or are you still using the old one? Because we got a new one, eh? So, we're going to recap quickly. SimBrief, there we have it. Now we start our flight. Then we go to the jetway thing. Now we know that one is wrong, so we can take that one out already. And we know this one is wrong. We can add it already. Right. Okay. So the cargo, let's get that thing back up. This is what we want to match. Right. Cargo is 2 tons. Yes, we've got 2 tons over there. That is an issue for us, and there's this magic 30 kilograms missing. That one we know is correct. That one for the fuel and the baggage, those two are correct. So cargo, we fixed it manually. And the passengers, if we bring that calculator back up, you'll see 154 times 79 is 12,166, but we're missing 30 kilograms. And the reason we use 30 kilograms is we don't want it to be too much, because then the rounding between Sam and Zibo and SimBrief is going to be out again. You just need enough to tip the scales either up or down. And that's why I chose the value of 30. All right, it's literally a thumb suck based on experience working with this since way back in the days. So what we're then going to do is we're going to add 12,196. So that's 30 kilograms more than what we have on the calculator. So 12,166 plus 30 kilograms. We then click load and fast track this thing. We get it to actually work. The interesting thing is this is added 300 kilograms for taxi fuel. Goodness me. Our takeoff weight is there, 68.6. But over there, we've got extra 300 kilograms. Now you see, again, at 30 kilograms, it could have been 68.8, which is standard. 200 kilograms, not a problem. But because we've now added the 30, it's obviously now tripped the rounding. It's just pushed us to the nines. It could very well be 68 point, let's make it 850. And it just went up to 9. Okay. Right. So, gents, without boring you too much, I'm just going to take a sip of the cold drink I've got here. If you guys want to go grab a coffee and such, do that now, because then what we'll do is I'm going to, in the interim, just reset the SAM thing, take screenshots, and then I can do a little write-up of what we have observed, and then link the video, and then Martin and the guys can come have a look, see how we figured it out, and then they can just adjust it again, because there's no point in me editing that XML file. They're going to have to look at the mathematics that they use, the field that they use to pick up the information from, because we've discussed it now on the stream, the fact that SimBrief is now split the packs and the baggage weights, so they might have to go and just look at that, which database field they pick up and what calculation they put in there. The cargo, they didn't pick up at all. So, yeah, I'll do that later on. I'm not going to do the write-up now. But then once I've done the screenshots and I know what I need to do, I'll quickly do the flight, and you guys can stick around or go your merry way, whichever. But then at least I get one small flight in today. It's not even 7 p.m., so that's why I'm thinking might as well fly it. Right, so give me a second. Lovely. I'm back. Small little flight. I'm only going to go to flight level 270. Not a big deal there.
All right, Captain. Got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Right. Control-Shift S. Get that keyboard closer. Reset flight. SimBrief. Let's do it again. Alright, then we're gonna start the flight. I'm gonna take a screenshot over here. Save it. How's it, Dimitri?
Oh, Nico. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you?
What are you guys doing here? Just, am I interrupting something?
No, you're not. I'm streaming on YouTube, and we're busy looking at this new file from Stairport for Sam.
Okay. I sent you a little something in your DM there, Nico.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that already. Thank you so much. Yeah. What I want to do is actually put somebody next to it. That's what I want to do. Oh, damn it. It's not. You guys can see something I can't see on my screen. I need to bring this thing over to the other side. Sorry. Give me a second. Sorry, it looks a bit funny on your screens now, guys. Just bear with me. I'm manipulating this thing to actually get the screenshot to show all the values in one place at the same time. So apologies for that. Save. Right. And we're back to normal. Alright, so once we do this, we add the 30 kilograms there, and with all the other values, we can just load. Actually, let's just fast track it, put this thing away, and then we can program this thing and go. Okay, still working perfectly fine. Okay. Let's quickly run through this. My reserves. Don't know why it's that much. I think somebody made a big mistake there. Anyway.
Ready for pre-flight procedure. Trim up.
Right, we're getting there. Dimitri? Carl, I didn't think he heard you, or saw your message there. I apologize. So if he's actually still here, I can see him sitting here, but no response. Right. We're going to do a heading select takeoff, and we'll turn on course later after takeoff. Yeah, I've seen it a few times. Guys do it regularly. And I don't know why when they say hello, you know, a minute later they retract the hello. I don't know, I've seen it many times. So, let's get that on. One is going.
Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
At this time, and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Right, so let's just have a quick look around. All the equipment seems gone. There's the tow truck coming. Pushback. Then let's look at doors. Right, we'll check if that one goes away or not. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, you see, I haven't used it in a short while, so sorry. So that's done. Now we've probably now
All
locked
right. Looks like the doors and
that
hatches are closed and we're ready to
gateway
connect.
in place again. Let's see if we can make it go away. Oh no, there it goes. That's what I wanted to do, but in a different way. Anyway, we've done it. The door's closing on its own. Great stuff. We've got APU fortunately handy. We just need to now put everything that tripped back in place. Right. Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
Thunder, you still okay? Yeah.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected.
Yep,
5
just
fast
sitting
passes
tight
service.
here,
Go ahead and
Eco.
fill the parking brake when you're ready to
Okay.
go.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Before start procedure complete. Ready for before start checklist.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Hey Nico, sorry, I was late to the party here. What's your objective today?
Martin from Stairport gave me a new XML file. In fact, it is publicly available unless he made a special room that I'm not aware of that is blocking, non-developers out. But I got it from him from his Discord, and we tried to check if it's working with the Zibo. So we figured out yes and no. Some of the functionality works, some doesn't. So I'll have to give him a little write-up on what works and what he needs to change.
So would you suggest updating at this point or no?
No, it won't work for you guys yet.
All right, thanks. Sorry for the 20 questions.
No, I'm pretty sure there's somebody new on the stream that wanted to ask the same questions, Dimitri. Just didn't know how to ask them, I suppose, or being shy or something. Start number 1 engine. By the way, Carl said hello to you and you didn't respond, so he retracted his message.
Oh, I didn't notice. I was away briefly, went to get some coffee, so sorry, Carl.
No problem. I did explain to him, I thought as much. So are we doing this, Lynn? No, not. Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake. And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Oh, okay. All right. You were playing with your facilities. Gotcha.
25 N2. Starter cutout. Engine start procedure complete.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
This airport looks very familiar, Nico.
Yeah, I think you might have been there once or twice.
Are you taking off from the 26s or the 8s today?
08 left. Let's go.
Flaps 5 set.
Oh, I see you going for a stroll down the west coast here.
Taxi lights on.
Yeah, it's really beautiful this time of the year.
Yeah. The guys upstairs, we wanted to do this as a group flight, and the guys upstairs then just stayed behind because they started flying, and I said to them, you know what, I noticed the problem with Sam that I discussed now at length in this stream, just before the stream started. I warned them, I said, I might actually not do this flight, you better go without me. There was a good 3, 4 or 5 of them flying, so it would be nice to join them, but things work out differently sometimes.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Your weather is pretty accurate too. That's how it is outside.
Nice.
In real life, yeah.
Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. procedure complete. Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Little trivia for you, Nico. Vancouver Airport has just instituted a no more than 15 minutes of APU running time.
Mm-hmm.
And also they're looking into implementing in a couple of weeks here mandatory one engine taxi for all planes.
Ah. Interesting, wow.
Making things more environmentally friendly, I guess.
Mm.
Plus with the price of gas these days, you know.
Mm-hmm. And this is us. Turn off. It's a beautiful picture. But I'm not on the network, so I'm not worried
Approaching
about traffic.
08 left.
Stabilized.
On runway 08 left. Flaps, flaps.
We said flaps 1. That's why she's complaining.
Ready for before taxi procedure. Flaps 1 set.
Skymatix 1, clear for takeoff.
Takeoff
You.
thrust set.
My pedals need calibrating again. Look at the seesaw. Ugh, I hate it when this happens. Sometimes it goes for days and many flights without any issue, and then just one moment, all of a sudden.
Positive rate.
They're up. Here we go. 1A. Oh, come to about 2,000 feet.
Acceleration altitude.
Oh, you know what? I never loaded this whole flight now. We took the shortcut. Oh, goodness gracious me. Okay, well, that should be fine. The arrival is fine. Then YDR. Okay. So that did the trick for us. Okay, we're on the same page. Now we can do our turn. Browsing.
Skymatix 1, flight will maintain level like 7,000. Expect clearance to cruise altitude 5 minutes after departure.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Skymatix 1. Proceed to Yankee. Victor Romeo VOR, resume all navigation.
Oh, look at that, look at that. I found the bloody camera I was looking for. It's hanging on a thread. Ah.
What is that, Nico? Is that the X-Plane 11 Gremlin or something?
No, I bought the Aerosoft Pro Cam thing that they sold. But I haven't had the time to figure it out yet. The other day I was just fiddling with it and then I noticed it was clashing, or that's my perception of it, with X camera, so I just left it. And one day I'll take the time to go learn this thing and see if I can figure out how it really works, because the concept idea they sold us this thing on is a nice idea, but I don't want it to interfere with X camera.
And Skymatix 1. Clear to cruise on to resume all navigation. Good day.
Thank you, good day. Is that Uncle John? You're very quiet, sir. You're a mile from your mic or something. Well, I have to write my little report and send it back, and they need to fix it.
Now, what are they doing? Are they making alterations, doing no checks and throwing it to you and say, try that?
Flight level.
I don't know if they didn't do any checks, but they did request me to check it for them. So I'll gladly do that, make sure they do a good job. We saw where the problems were. I mean, we identified it, and we also are able to give them solutions, so why not? Uncle John, how was the flight? I presume you've landed and you're done. Oh, now it's muted. Sorry, just as I look up, I see. See, we don't have much of a crew, so I might as well start setting up here.
Approaching transition.
Might as well press the button too.
to level off.
Okay, I'm almost set for the descent. There you go. I've got OBEX for this area and it doesn't look like it's on. Oh, that's the problem. No, it's the VSK design. They've cut out the orthos and stuff again. Look, remember they don't support orthos with some of their airports. So once they put their stuff in there, they kill everything else in that tile, in that vicinity, in that tile. Mooner, welcome. Yeah, the level up guys are busy working on a max in the background, but it is top secret. No one knows anything about it or talks about it.
Procedure.
If you do not enable the WSK design terrain, then the authors and everything else from Orbix, everything will work, but then you don't have all the nice leveling done at the airport, then it's kind of some stuff's floating in the air and some not. You know the story, Dimitri. I think that's why I slipped up. I enabled everything again today.
Yeah. I made a patch for it. I'll send it to you. You can have them both.
Okay. Appreciate it.
But the point is, I shouldn't have to do that when you pay money for something.
Yeah,
Right.
but they said after the launch of this one, there was like 2 or 3 other airports from them. I also bought on their forum. They said they don't want to support BUWZOs. So I personally think it's lousy. You know, they might as well support it. Why not? You know, but it's their decision. Can't change it for them.
Mind you, he's not under no obligation to make his scenery compatible with Orbix, because Orbix, True Earth have their own mesh, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Remember, the VSK design is also selling via Orbix. And in my
Well,
mind...
I was gonna say that.
In my mind, he's in partnership with Orbix, which means that he should really now consider them as well. So I don't know.
Well, I think this falls more on the side of Orbix rather than Brzezinski, because you know they provide the mesh for the area, the True Earth, and they should say, okay, well, if you use our stuff, here is a patch for the major airports there, right? Mind you, they have their own airports that they provide as a part of the True Earth, but you know, you and I know that they're not, you know, something to write home about.
There you can see, it looks like there's the line where the Orbix stuff starts again. You can see there's a line there and there's a line there. Like that's where the bad dial or the excluded dial then ends.
I mean, Andrew has a bunch of airports, like in Florida, that they're within the Orbix Florida, and he made sure there's patches for those as well. You know, so that's what a right developer, that's what they do for the product.
I agree.
Approach top of descent.
That's nice.
That Mount Rainier.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
Yeah, that is Mount Rainier.
Yeah, it is. First one.
And you can see Mount St. Helen coming up there at UR11. There it is. And right behind it, it's Mount Adams.
Aha.
It's really nice hiking areas, nice national parks there.
Excellent.
Approaching transition. Transition level. Ready for approach checklist.
Rule, I've seen that. I've worked through all that math already. We want to try and keep it simple, so I'll write a nice little report for the guys and then we can just fix it easy. Now, AutoGate has got nothing to do with SAM. You need to have the SAM stuff installed, and then the developer needs to enable SAM in his scenery. If we're talking SAM AutoGate, sorry, because there is that other plugin and now I can't get on its name. Maybe that's the AutoGate I'm getting confused with, but let me just have a look quickly because now I've confused myself. Hold on. Resources, plugins. Yeah, AutoGate is a different thing. That's a separate plugin. It's got nothing to do with SAM. SAM is fully contained. So if you've got the SAM jetways or whatever the normal SAM stuff is that you get, you should be fine. Everything should work. But you might have to check your settings in SAM, because if it's not set to auto, see, mine is not set to auto. Mine is set to manual. I have to physically call the jetway for it to come. So that might be what's wrong on your side. Just make sure you understand how it works then. Yes, it does. SAM does. It's got everything built in. SAM, if you're a developer and you want the SAM jetways in your scenery, you got to pay for it. It's not free. Okay, but when we use it from our side, we don't pay extra for using the jetways. That's how the model works. Spawning summon, I've never done it, so the best would be to go to the SAM Discord, speak to them, go to their forum maybe, ask them. Anthony, the trim is a little bit, Zibo, I don't really want to talk out of the dev room, but he is aware of it and he is working on it, and he said that he'll probably fix it in the next update. Now I'm flying 18A and it's definitely not been done in this one. Okay, so it will probably come in 18B, C, D, whatever, and then you'll get 18. As far as I understand it, it's going to be one of these ones.
1000 to level off. Localizer capture.
Just in the nick of time. Getting worried that that localizer won't capture before the glide slope and then it misses the ILS again.
Flaps 15 set.
Radio altimeter.
Flaps 30 set. Ready for landing checklist. Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for landing.
Thousand feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Almost
Approaching
there.
10 left.
Clear to land runway 10 left.
400. Approaching decision height. 300. Minimums. 200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Wow, they seemed a little bit fast there. I had to quickly brake, lift the nose a bit there. 179, that wasn't bad, but wow.
Auto brake in use. Reverse unlocked. Great landing. You are professional.
You're welcome, Steve. Thank you for joining. Thank you to everybody watching, and I hope it was entertaining enough with all the calculations and everything. And you enjoyed the flight at the end. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Thanks, Thunder and Dimitri, sitting here on Discord with me as well. After landing procedure.
After landing procedure.
Never tried this command. I want to tell it to start the APU, see if she couldn't do that. Once she's done with that procedure, I just want to ask her if she doesn't understand, then I'll just do it.
Yeah, she'll do it, Nico.
After landing procedure complete.
Start APU. Start APU. She's not listening to my voice. APU. What is the command? Hold on. Let's see if there's a specific command. I might be giving the wrong command.
Start APU is all I ever use. Okay. It works.
Starting APU.
Yeah, but you've got an American accent. I've got a South African accent. She doesn't listen to me. I'll have to speak a bit American.
Well, it's Canadian.
Well, that's
not American.
It's close. It's close. Sorry about that. But it's close. Yeah.
That's okay.
The fact is, she listens to your voice. I had to click on the little command. I'll try practice, because maybe I'm saying APU too quickly, one after another. Maybe I must put more space in between those letters. I don't know. That's nice, hey Sasha. Really nice approach this. Wow, it feels like we're driving back to Canada.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, look at that. Brum, brum, brum.
I thought you meant the bumps.
No, it's just out of a long taxiway. I mean, it's so slow. I don't see a line to follow to get into these parkings. Strange. We'll just park like this and call it a day. There we go.
Ready for shutdown procedure.
Ah, it's moving, so it's coming. if it opens the doors automatically or not. Shutdown procedure.
Shutdown procedure.
Don't know if she did it. Oh man. Yeah, there we go. Port service. Alright, I think we're getting somewhere. So, guys, I'll send my report probably tomorrow. I've actually still got work to do and I can't give up more time. But I had to do this flight because I said I would. So, there you go. Thank you so much for watching with me. Hello, Jaco. Well, hello, Andre. Andre, dit is hoe hy gedesign is. Hulle het hom so vir ons geteken. Jy sal op die charts moet kyk en dan sal hy vir jou verduidelik hoekom hy so hoog was. Daar is 10-1 geboue of iets in die regte lewe hoekom hulle dit so doen. En dan het hy daai display threshold wat jy moet compensate. So. Right, okay, that's it. You guys have fun. We'll talk again in the rest of the week sometime down the line and enjoy. Bye-bye.